This is a Xitron Technologies 2503H multi-channel mains, power, current, potential, harmonic analyzer thing. Got this for a really good price at a local surplus place, about a little less than $40, given these retail for 14 grand even today. That's not too bad. Actually, $14,395 according to tequipment.net. At least that's what they want for the current duration of these, which are basically, as far as I can tell, the same, except the front panel's blue. Fairly typical arrangement for something like this. Big card cage. 3 sets of triplicated cards, one for each channel, one of which is analog processing, the other 2 are DSP, one supervisory, one amplitude. Pretty much almost entirely through hole. That carries over to the front panel, except for some surface mount stuff on the vacuum fluorescent display. Basically, harmonic issues at a local power lab, all kinds of stupidity, running out of money. Long story short, don't want to get too detailed with stuff because of OPSEC reasons, but yeah, needless to say, a bit of a score. The only thing is, part of the reason it was so cheap, a couple of the front panel buttons don't work. Most important of which is the enter button, which is one of the ones that's actually genuinely stone dead, as in totally open circuit even when pressed. There's at least one other that registers the same, but it's there's at least one other that's also always open. There's another one that reads 50 ohms when closed. So part of the reason I have this thing open is basically ideally find a part number, or worse comes to worse, a mechanical, or just take one of the dead switches, do a total mechanical drawing, and then just spend a load of time cross-referencing data sheets to get some mechanically equivalent parts. So yeah, all in all, knock on wood, pretty useful instrument. Only thing is I need to get a relatively portable parallel output printer, because that seems to be the main way of getting data out of this thing, is either printing or spinning it out to an external computer. Although it also has GPIB, but I've never really done anything with GPIB, so yeah. And it's also got 2 serial ports, so I might experiment with just making a little microcontroller screen thingy that basically just reads out all the stuff. Basically to supplement what's on the VFD, because it's only an 80 character standard 4-line, 20 character per line vacuum fluorescent display. But yeah, it's a thing. I'll probably be having more videos on this guy. And also one little catch, just for those of you who have at least one of the older versions of these devices. This particular power analyzer is from circa 1986, so it's one of the much older ones. One of the power supply connections to the front panel, even though there's an immediately proximate electrolytic, the connection is reversed. You'll note that the red lead's on top, and the immediately proximate electrolytic has the stripe visible, which is ordinarily the relative negative terminal of the capacitor, but that's just a, but it's actually the DC hot goes on top, just as a bit of a warning. So if you have one of these, make sure you check what the pinout of things are and what connector orientations are before you dismantle it, because even though they used one of the keyable connectors, they didn't use a keyed mating connector with it, which is kind of stupid.